Charlemagne, or the father of Europe, is the topic of today. We're talking about his influence, his legacy. Big dude in terms of medieval kings. You got to know him. Let's talk about the Carolingians. They come after the Merovingians. The Merovingians rule for about 200 years, and the Carolingians take over. The word Carol basically refers to the word Charles. The first Carolingian that you need to know is Charles Martel, or Charles the Hammer. Charles Martel is a tough dude. The Muslims are advancing from Spain into the rest of Europe, and they're getting close, basically modern-day France. And in the Battle of Tours, Charles Martel goes and defeats the advancing Muslims that are coming into Europe. And this is huge because he's seen as the defender of Christianity, stopping all these terrible, awful Muslims. During the battle, the Muslims go and they face the Christians and they stand off basically for a week, just looking at each other. And all of a sudden the attack is made. Charles Martel sends his forces behind the Muslim troops. They start taking all the plunder that the Muslims had behind the lines. The Muslims pull back, and Charles Martel is the defender of Christianity. Yay! So he's known for the Battle of Tours and stopping the Muslim advance. Pepin the Short comes next. Don't need to know much about Pepin. He's the son of Charles Martel. His name is Pepin, and he's short, and he kind of continues the dynasty. And then the third dude, the most important one, is Charlemagne. We'll be talking about him today and his influence. And like I said, his nickname is the father of Europe. So I'll get some years around it. He's ruling in the late 700s, early 800s. And Pope Leo III, on Christmas Day, 800 CE or AD, Charlemagne walks into the church and is crowned by Pope Leo III, Holy Roman Emperor. He's given that title. Supposedly Charlemagne didn't know he was going to get this title, but it's up to speculation whether he did or not, I guess. But what happened is this. He goes into the church, he's crowned Holy Roman Emperor, and you got to break down this word here to really think about what this means. Holy, and then Roman Emperor. Holy refers to the church, meaning he is like the defender of Christendom, of the Christian world. And Roman Emperor, well, you know that goes back to the Roman Empire. Is this the Roman Empire? No, it's the Middle Ages, right? What they're trying to do is they're trying to kind of evoke or get the name of, we are the Roman Empire once again. We are strong. And Charlemagne is the Roman Emperor, even though it's obviously not. But you kind of get the concept of trying to use the name in order to go and get some support. He forces people to become Christians, just like Clovis. And he organizes his empire politically very efficiently. He organizes his empire into counties. Each is run by a count. That's where we get the word like count, because they count the taxes. Each of these counts is the person overseeing them is called the Missi Dominici. Because here's kind of the problem. If you're a count in control of a county, you might be taking a little bit of money. Who's overseeing you, right? You're taking your taxes, saying you're not getting as much taxes, and you're getting a little kickback. And that's common. The Missi Dominici go and overlook the counts in order to make them accountable. And because of this, we have increase in trade, extension of the empire, and he's a very successful military leader. He's the type of guy who goes on foot around town, going and making sure that people are doing what they need to do. And here's Charlemagne being crowned on Christmas Day, 800 AD. He expands the Frankish kingdom, as you can see in this map here. Basically, the modern-day countries, these ones don't exist back then, obviously, but France, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and northern Italy. Not too shabby. His capital city is at Aachen, which is in modern-day Germany. Another look at the map there. You can take a pause, take a look. He's also associated with the rebirth of learning. The word Renaissance means rebirth, and this is not the Renaissance, the Italian Renaissance that you're probably familiar with. That comes later. But just in general, the word Renaissance means rebirth. And what it is a revival of classical learning. And remember, classical refers to Greco-Roman civilization. So we're going to go, and people are going to start learning again. You don't associate the Middle Ages with learning, typically. But because of Charlemagne, he's going to go, even though he can't read or write himself, or he doesn't that well, he goes and tries. He is going to be associated with going and having learning in his empire. During this Renaissance, he's going to get basically the Bill Gates or the Einstein, the smartest guy of the day, to go and lead his curriculum, like what should a smart person know? What should a well-educated person know? And Alcuin of York comes along. He's an Anglo-Saxon scholar, meaning he's from England, and he creates a palace school at the capital city of Aachen. And he very famously kind of solidifies that the most important things to learn are the trivium and the quadrivium. It's not like he invented them, but he kind of just said this is what needs to be studied. So the trivium consists of 3 parts, like tri, 3, quad, 4. Grammar, rhetoric, and logic in the trivium, which is grammar is how to write, rhetoric is how to speak, logic how to think, and the quadrivium is a little more like applied in terms of like a specific subject. You have geometry, arithmetic, astronomy, and music. And my lovely phrase that you can feel free to use, Greg really likes grammar, rhetoric, logic, giving Arthur's aardvark muffins. There you go. So you can use that if you need, some mnemonic device, or go make up your own. He also solidifies during his time writing. So you can look at the kind of a comparison here of the Roman writing to the Merovingian writing, which looks quite sloppy, to be honest. And then the fancy schmancy Carolingian writing, which you tend to think about like from medieval times. So Charlemagne, big dude, organized an effective empire, has a famous granddad who's supposedly stopped Europe from becoming a Muslim countries essentially within Europe, and associated with education. As much as he may be associated with military, he's also associated as a man of learning as well.